challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to create a museum of love. It's made from the colours yellow and brown. The build, it's a museum, and our theme is going to be love. Slightly dedicated to Don Lothario. I couldn't keep a straight voice, could I? Welcome on in, I'm Velvet, and today we have a little bit of a building challenge build. So it's very many layers of challenge. So it is a shell challenge, as you can see here, and it is also a museum. So we got chosen that this would be a museum. The colors would be yellow and brown, and we ended up with a theme of love. So this is the Museum of Love. Now, if I was thinking about a museum dedicated to love, I would be thinking pinks and reds and love hearts and everything everywhere. But I did not have that option because we were going yellow and brown. So we went with a retro museum of love dedicated to Don Lothario. So there's some little hints of Don Lothario around the place. So this was basically just a whole lot of fun to build. I had a blast. The shape is interesting. The size is interesting. So it's not a particularly large build. It is on a 20 by 20 lot. So if that gives you a little bit of perspective about the size of the shell, this is on a 20 by 20 lot and it still looks fairly small. We couldn't even get to the top level without a ladder. Like, I couldn't actually fit stairs up to the top level. I had to use a ladder. So it is teeny tiny, and it's a little museum dedicated to love. Like, how cute is that? So what I'm kind of doing at the moment is working on the windows on the top level and how that's kind of going to sit, and as well as the roofing. So I did layers of curved roofing up on the top level. I thought that would be something quite funky. And as I said, we are going quite a retro theme. I just had to. With yellow and brown, there was no choice but to go retro. I was initially going to go like modern or something like that. I actually wasn't quite sure what I was going to do, but it evolved into brown and yellow retro. So one of the packs that I did use with this was the Casanova Cave pack, because obviously that's one of the packs that was dedicated to, well, kind of about Don Lothario. So it was pretty much the perfect pack for this build because, you know, we've got these pictures of Don Lothario and, you know, it's got that kind of retro vibe, that retro masculine chic vibe. So yeah. This is where we kind of went with it. And yeah, going in and I'm just digging into the whole brown aspect because I started off with white because I was kind of going to use white as the contrast color, and then I was just like, nah, let's just go all in. No mucking around. We're just going full brown, full yellow. We're going hard on this. And you know what? I actually think it ended up looking really cute. I didn't treat this in a silly manner. Like, I didn't try anyway to deliberately make this ugly. I was actually trying to make this look, you know, quite cool, quite, you know, that retro vibe, and actually to really embrace the colors of it. So, you know, while this was a fun build, I did not try to go stupid with it or anything like that. Like, I guess I could have really done that, but I didn't want to. I wanted to treat the challenge with some seriousness and try to just capture that whole vibe. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun just watching me put this together and figure this one out, because what a whopper of a challenge. I mean, not only do you have it being a shell challenge, but yellow and brown, I mean, they do go together. So not really terrible as far as colors go, but, you know, yellow and brown, it does just lend itself to a 70s vibe, doesn't it? The yellow and orange as well, just that really retro kind of thing going on. So I created a little fountain out the front with the little rose petals in it because, you know, love, and did the sign in the middle of the fountain, which ended up working out really nicely because I didn't actually realize at the time that I placed that the fountain, that the sign actually had water coming out of it as well. But then when I went and play tested it, and it had like a little bit of water coming out and it was just sitting in this fountain, and I was like, oh, that's actually perfect. So sometimes you just get this little serendipitous placement of an item when you're building, and it's just like, oh yeah, you know what, that actually worked better than even I had thought it did. Like, it looked good, and then it looked even better because it had water coming out of it. So around the back, that's a little employees kind of area, and with the dumpster. Then there is another little area which I'm going to turn into a woohoo romantic zone, because I feel like, you're going to be visiting this museum full of love things. And, maybe the Sims are just going to get a little bit saucy because of it. They're just going to get a little bit riled up. So maybe they need somewhere to go during their visit to the museum just to express that romantic vibe that they're feeling, that they're really tapping into. So we've got a little woohoo bush out the back. And I did use the cool one from Werewolves. You know what? I love that bush. I wish it wasn't a woohoo bush, or like we had a non-woohoo bush option of it, because it's such a nice bush. Like, it's really pretty. It's a really nice height. And yeah, I just genuinely wish we had that bush non-woohoo version. So I did a little shade. So the shade is one of the fabricated shades from Eco Lifestyle. And then digging into the Love Struck pack, because obviously the Love Struck, we're doing a love museum. We're going to go hard on the Love Struck pack. We did the Love Heart end table with the lip couch and a little bearskin rug as well. So, it's just a very moody, in a romantic way, a mood driven area for the Sims to kind of visit and express their love. Now that they're at the Love Museum, they've got to express their love. So I wanted to give them a little outlet space for it and make it, like a little cute area. I was just really hoping that they wouldn't all go out the back and just pee in that bush. But the Sims, and they are probably going to go and do that, aren't they? So yeah. Anyway, this is actually my very first museum build. Look, I'm not going to say this is the most serious of museums out there. It is really not. It was a fun build, but you know what? It's actually some cute things in there, and it is. I think you could genuinely use this as a community lot if you had like a little 20 by 20 space that you wanted to fill with something. Cute little museum. The Sims really enjoyed it. There's some little activities, because on the top level you've got an artist area, so the Sims could, paint and do their little things. And we've got a little chess table off to the side there. So again, activities, and there was like seating around the place and lots of things to view and enjoy. And as I said, we've got our woohoo area. So I feel like this could actually be quite a cool little date spot. I did build this in Copperdale, so the lighting's not the best. That's the only thing with Copperdale. I really like Copperdale, but the lighting is just so dim. And it's just like, ugh, when you're building in it, it's just, ugh, so dumb. Give me some lovely light, please. Anyway, Velvet just having another gripe about lighting. Oh, Velvet. So, yeah, I'm just placing around a little bit of grass, just to give it like a little bit of texture, and like maybe the groundskeeper needs to have a little bit of a vacuum out there. And now I'm just working on the stairs. This was a challenge because we didn't have that much room inside, and so I'm just kind of working through where I'm going to place those stairs. And I was like, well, I really can't have a long, thin bathroom like that. So I had to extend the bathroom, because obviously we need to have a bathroom in the museum, because the woohoo bush is just not going to cut it. That's for woohooing. We don't want to go in there. We want to do something else. And then I'm just putting in a ladder up to the top level. I did really try to put some stairs in there, but that was just, nope. It was not working. So it is what it is. And you know what? The ladder works, and the Sims didn't mind the ladder. Bit of fun. That's what this museum is about. It's love and fun. So continuing on the yellow and brown theme on the inside, because there was no escaping that theme at all, or that color scheme. And I'm just working on the little artist area. Initially, I wasn't going to use the artist studio kit, because I was going to try and keep this limited pack, but that went out the window pretty quickly. So I did afterwards just go and add like a couple of art studio things to this area a little bit later on. Nothing too major, because I ended up using something from the art studio kit anyway. What was it? Oh yeah, the bust, because I was pretending that was Don Lothario's bust, and people came to view Don Lothario's rippled abs in a bust form, you know? As you do. Oh my lord. So if you are wondering about those little art items that I have used up here, they're actually locked items. So if you use the unlock entitlements cheat, you will be able to access those. They are items that you get from the base game artist career. So they're actually base game items that you can unlock via a cheat. You know, this is actually what we're about to build very shortly, where that picture of that lady is. So I'm just figuring this is one of Don Lothario's finest lady friends, and he's kind of like dedicated this shrine or this display to her. Anyway, this ended up being like one of my favorite parts of the build. I thought it looked really cool. So what I'm just working on is finding some lighting that sits basically flat, and then I'm going to add that to the bottom of the curtain rail from the Desert Lux pack, just to give like a little spotlight effect on the actual art. You know how sometimes you gotta think about the lighting of the art as well. And so I think that pictures from the Casanova cave, and then I think I dived into the refined living room pack. And then when it came together with the brown panel in behind it, I was just like, yeah, I really like that. So this is me grabbing the pictures of Don Lothario. I was just like, no, we need a better display for that. So I did a little console table with Don Lothario pictures on there, and then it was just a matter of finding love sort of themed things. So we've got our plushies, we've got our love birds. I think I found that's the outdoor retreat love hearts, and then the wedding stories love hearts, the little love heart aisle things. That's super cute. I actually didn't realize there was like stars and flowers in that as well. So that ended up being cool. The rain chains, which get used for things. Kissing picture. You know what? Actually, one of the biggest challenges for this build was actually finding the romantic clutter. Like, you know, we've got like little roses and things like that. And so I think I skipped ahead a little bit in a minute because I wanted to just go through all the clutter and just like find the things that we could put into the build, because that was ended up being a lot harder than I thought it would be. Like, I knew we had the love heart teddy bear and the love heart sort of style plushies and stuff, but there wasn't a whole lot else romantic kind of themed. So yeah, it was actually surprised me. I thought there would be more. I'm thinking in hindsight, like the VIP bucket would have probably been pretty good, but I don't know. Is that the kind of thing you would have on a museum display? Maybe not. But yeah, that was actually quite interesting, having to go through and find these items. So I skipped ahead like the clutter finding. So I decided to use like the cute little sweet treats and the romantic food display. So we've got like the bakery stuff and the golden apples, and then this is the bust display. So this is all the things that have been dedicated to Don Lothario as through art, and we've got like a little Valentine's display, some roses and bits and pieces like that, and then just another little lip chair because that's adorable. I thought the purple kind of worked nicely with the brown and the yellow, so out of all the options that we had for the colors of the lips, I thought that kind of worked. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys had fun with us and enjoy the screenshots. I'll catch you later. Bye!